Yes. At first, there was nothing but a starless black void. And then I began to come back to my senses, starting with smell. I could smell dust. I could smell perfume. And a moment later, my sense of touch returned. My fingers were drenched in warm liquid. As I flexed my knuckles, I came to an important realization. I existed. I was alive. I opened my eyes, letting light into the void. I'm at home. My vision blurred every time I took a breath. It was hard to focus on anything. There was a stinging pain on the back of my head. But at least I had to get up. I took 2 deep breaths, then climbed to my feet. Standing proved easier than I'd expected. My mind was sluggish. My thoughts moved like mud. I didn't know why I was there. I didn't know how I'd come to be unconscious. I didn't know what. No, I knew what I could smell. I could smell blood. I turned. There were 2 figures sprawled on the floor. No, it can't be. Father! Mother! Why? Who did this? I couldn't imagine the culprit, much less the motive that was behind a shocking scene like this. Questions overwhelmed my thoughts like a noisy crowd. My heart began to race. My gaze caught that of my reflection. I had killed them.
I'm thinking it over as I breathe slow motion. We've been upside down again. So can we turn this round, or should we let this go? I'm running on instinct for you. So if I wanna run and hide, would you be there for me? If I'm gonna let this slide, can we find something new that we'll never forget? That we'll never forget. If this is real, why don't we feel a little bit more? It's all that I'm asking. It's all that I'm asking for. If this is real, why don't we feel a little bit more? It's all that I'm asking. It's all that I'm asking for. I've been holding on. If this is real, why don't we feel a little bit more? It's all that I'm asking. It's all that I'm asking for. If this is real, why don't we feel a little bit more? It's all that I'm asking. It's all that I'm asking for. If this is real, why don't we feel a little bit more? It's all that I'm asking. It's all that I'm asking for.
Hello guys, long time no see and welcome to Samu-chan's Let's Play Steam Prison. It's been so long since we've done a Let's Play for Otome. It's difficult to do Let's Play Otomes on computers since I've kind of reverted to the PS Vita and the Switch, you know. I've been definitely keeping up with Otome, I just haven't been live streaming it like I used to, but for definitely sure, last year I played Steam Prison, there was no Finn, and now they've just released the Finn route, which is why I thought, you know what, in honor of Finn, because everybody loves Finn and everybody thinks that he deserves a romantic ending, I've decided to do a Let's Play for all of Steam Prison, including Finn's route, which will be saved for last. So we're going to be doing an entire series for it. I'm hyped for it and I'm ready to go. So without further ado, we'll begin the game. I will not change the protagonist's name because I'd like to hear them say her name. So
The time. It's already noon. I'd like to sleep a little more, but then I'll be late. As I dressed, I checked what the sky was like out the window. It looks like a fair enough day. It didn't matter much to me what kind of day it was, except for those times when bad weather made my work difficult. That's it. I put on my familiar uniform and buckled my sword belt, then straightened up in front of the mirror. My skin was clear and healthy, and I was in high spirits. If nothing else, I never feel run down. My job required a lot of physical exercise. I couldn't compete with my colleagues in terms of physical strength, but my endurance and fortitude were excellent. The only remaining step in my routine was to comb my hair. Alright, time for another day of work. I went to the dining room for a bite to eat. Good day, Mother, Father. I made sure to acknowledge the servants as well with a polite nod. I can't spend the day sleeping. I'm on duty this afternoon. My mother knelt in front of a small statue to pray. I joined her and closed my eyes. May today be uneventful. We prayed to Yune Sakai.
I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
He was our country's greatest saint. He was ageless and immortal, blessed by God.
He was our Hierophant. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right either, and we worshipped him.
I asked the servants to bring my meal. My father turned his attention away from the newspaper and towards me. I tensed a little. There's no need for you to worry. Doing what I love is energizing, not exhausting. I sat down in a chair, nodding empathetically. You both worry far too much about me. There isn't any reason to. You can see for yourselves how healthy I am. We had a variation of the same conversation almost every day. It's heartwarming that they care so much about me, but...
Hold the phone. I'm gonna pause for a second. Gonna go to the settings here real quickly. Configure real quickly, sorry. For voices, I was thinking to voice certain characters. I know you won't be able to hear some of the Japanese going on, and that's heartbreaking for you, but... I was thinking of voicing... I wanted to voice Vin. Vin. I can't believe I said Vin. Kill me now. Just murder me. I'm so stupid. I was thinking of voicing them all, but... Well, we'll see. I'll have the voice on, but I'll be voicing over some of the characters, like Ulrich and Finn. I kind of want to do Ainz, but he's gonna be so deep. I'm gonna voice... Okay, you know what? I'm voicing all of the protagonists. Yeah. Everyone else can have their own voice. There. I'm gonna be doing a lot of voicing. I'm so stupid. But oh well. Confirm. There was one more thing I had to do. Menu. Let's see about the status. Oh my god, yes! Finn has a little thing here! Before Finn didn't even have one, it was just these guys, but now he does. Okay, back from characterize. Did I already read this part? I think I did. I'm an adult. I know my limits. There's truly no cause for concern. I'll complete my duties and then come back just as I always do.
職務か。どうしてそう警察官の仕事にこだわるんだい？お前なら私と同じ道を歩むこともできただろうに。
No, I'm afraid I couldn't have become a politician. Sitting still irritates me, and being quiet for hours would have been unbearable.
そうだとしても警察官なんて危ない仕事。
Mother, we went through this a long time ago. My reason then still stands. I want to protect the weak. Even if we'll never see eye to eye, you agreed to support me in my ambition. Please don't go back to trying to dissuade me from it.
そうね。
I love how they have a big, massive poster behind her here. This is ridiculous. We worship him, dude. I appreciate it.
And I'm deeply grateful that you've given me the freedom to pursue this career despite my high birth. Thank you.
お前は一度決めたことは簡単に譲らない子だ。説得できなければ応援するしかないさ。
Yes? I have a bad feeling. I began to eat as I waited for my father to speak.
そろそろウェディングドレスの試着をしてもらうぞ。
My mother nodded as I sputtered, yes, today.
結婚式忘れていないわよね。
Maybe a little. I gave a wide grin, wiping away the tears from my coughing fit.
あらあら。何その返事は。結婚するのは自分でという自覚はあるのかしら。
No, not really. I'm kidding. Somewhat, I suppose.
困った子ね。10代とはね、成人なのよ。自分のことなのだから、もっとちゃんとなさい。
I'm sorry. In my country, adulthood begins at 16. Once compulsory education comes to an end. At that age, we can find employment, drink alcohol, and the temple begins to send out marriage notifications. It's not like I think of myself as a child. I didn't know what to say. My father pressed the attack with a broad smile.
相手はあのエヴァンス家のフィッツジェラルド君だ。エヴァンス家とつながりを持てるなど鼻が高い。失礼のないよう挙式を滞りなく進めたい。そのためにもドレスの試着をしてくること。
Yes.
Their stares made me feel deeply uncomfortable.
If I'd attempted to drag any of the servants into the discussion, they'd have taken my parents' side for certain. What am I going to do? Oh! My colleague's here! Goodbye!
試着は
Have a wonderful day, both of you! Goodbye!
あの子ったら本当に分かっているのかしら。
おはようございます。今日もよろしくお願いします。
Gotta totally keep my fandom under control. Here I go. Good morning. It's an honor to serve with you. Finn! Thank God you're here. You're my savior. Savior?
My gallant knight come to save me from my obnoxious parents. Great job, Finn. You'll make it far in the force.
Thank you? But I'm not a knight. I don't understand what's happening, but I'm glad if I could be of service to you. Let's go then.
Sure, time to protect peace and fight crime.
Yes, Finn agreed, smiling softly.
Finn's last name was Euclase. I hope I'm saying his last name right. If not, just murder me. He was a rank 1 officer at the temple, like me. Under ordinary circumstances, police officers always patrolled in pairs. Finn was my partner, and we had been serving together since the beginning. He was 4 years older than I was, though. Despite our ages, I thought of him as a younger brother, because of his gentle and quiet personality. If Finn hadn't arrived, who knows how that would have ended. Marriage. I didn't actually forget about trying on the dress. I mulled over what my parents had said. Sighing, Finn didn't hide his worry as he walked beside me, asking questions in his timid way.
Has something happened between you and your parents?
Yeah, they told me to go and try on some dress again. Why are you laughing?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's unusual to see you frustrated by anything, Lady Cyrus. It's amusing. I may not fully understand since I'm a man, but is trying on a dress difficult?
Nah, I don't hate it because it's difficult. Oh, when I said dress, I meant wedding dress.
Wedding! I see. You're not particularly interested in marrying Lady Cyrus?
Not particularly. Not at all, it's more like it.
Don't you think it's pretty annoying? I don't know. My friend's sister was looking forward to it for a long time.
Looking forward to it? It's just a pain, isn't it? First, there are all those meetings, like when you see him for the first time, then you have to prepare for some stupid ceremony. There's so much dumb stuff for something that's just meant to continue the family. Trying on the dress is just a part of that. I've had to try on a whole bunch already. I'm not a doll, you know? I want to focus on police duties instead. I feel like that's better for myself and for the country. Don't you agree?
That's all very like you.
Of course it is. I said it. I nodded at Finn in agreement. The problem is my parents. Especially my mother. She's just way too happy. You'd think it was her who was getting married, not me.
Yeah, well, I can't blame her. Your husband, he's from a good family, isn't he?
Lord Fitzgerald Evans? Yes.
I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. Evans. That's more than just a good family, then. They live in an entirely different world from me.
What are you talking about? I'm marrying a human, not a saint.
I suppose, but the Evans family are peers of the realm. I would hesitate to even talk to them.
Are they really that imposing? Nobility only really exists in name these days. Even my family has some titles.
It isn't merely a name. I'm sure your manners are a difficult class to mine. Not that I would be able to tell, being lowborn. At any rate, it is a fortuitous, I don't even know, fortuitous? I can't even, screw that word. Marriage, I think.
Yeah, for the Testella family, anyway. But for me...
You hesitate?
I give Finn a paired grin. The people marry whoever the government designates and have... designates, I think that's what it is, and have children. I understand that this is very important for the future of the country, but as a wife, it'll be expected for me to quit my job when it's time for me to devote myself to motherhood. But when I think about having to leave the work I love, even temporarily in the not-so-distant future, all I feel is annoyed.
I see.
I wish I was like you.
Like me?
Yeah, like you. Men aren't as directly involved with the business of parenting when their fathers as women have to be as mothers. You don't have to stop away from your job. You don't have to sacrifice your own desires for society. I wish I had been born a man.
That wouldn't be ideal.
Why not?
Because you are who you are. I can't imagine any other Lady Cyrus.
Finn?
Anyway, I prefer the current Lady Cyrus, so please don't talk like that about it yourself. I'm sorry.
Finn. He apologized again and bowed his head. You're so stupidly serious. He was older, taller, and stronger physically than me, but I couldn't remember a time when he wasn't soft-spoken, second-guessing himself with every word. I suppose it shows how honest he is. Finn, aren't you forgetting something? I poked him in the side. He turned his head towards me. I'm your colleague. I've already told you a few times that you shouldn't call me a lady. Finn covered his mouth with his right hand, startled by his own habitual mistake.
I'm sorry. As the daughter of the Testella family, Lady Cyrus, I mean, you live in a different world from me, Cyrus, so
Alright, I know you care deeply about a person's birth and bloodline, but right now I'm your colleague, your partner. It puts me on edge to be called Lady Cyrus by you all the time. Can you at least try to be a little less stiff?
Yes, I shall, Cyrus.
Yeah?
Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to try it. Wow, that makes me blush.
Really? Finn?
Yeah?
Finn.
What is it?
I'm trying to understand you. I'm not blushing, though. Finn.
I'll be the one blushing again if you keep saying my name.
I see. I still don't get it. Oh well. Let's go, Finn.
Roger.
At the center of our country was the temple. Almost all public servants, including the police officers, worked inside its walls. It had been 2 years since I became a rank 1 police officer. Going to the temple every day had become familiar routine. Sorry to keep you waiting, Finn. Here's our patrol route for today.
I see. It's around the market.
Doesn't your family live around here? We could drop by.
No,
ティスティラ君、ユークレース君、ここにいたのか。探したぞ。
Sir Kurtoa! The large frame of Kurtoa Hase swayed towards us. A rank 3 police officer. He was our direct superior. What is it, Sir Kurtoa?
先日の中級警察官昇格試験の結果について話そうと思ってな。ついてこい。
He turned and began to walk away again immediately. Examination results aren't exactly something we can talk about in the hallway. I glanced at Finn and we followed Sir Kurtoa together. What kind of room is this?
外来用の宿泊室だ。どの会議室も使用中でな。少し。
these are certainly well appointed for guests. That bed looks very soft.
我々の設備にももう少し予算を割いてもらえたらいいのだがな。まあいい。では昇格試験の発表をする。心の準備。
Yes, always.
随分落ち着いているな、ティスティラ君。
Nothing I do will change things now. I did everything I could. I'll accept whatever result I get.
実にティスティラ君らしいな。一方、ユークレース君は。
The promotion examination. I'm starting to sweat.
Finn, for the love of God!
ユークレース君もいつも通りだな。では結果を言い渡す。ティスティラ君、ユークレース君、試験に合格した。おめでとう。
Really?
Oh wait, that was Finn. Really? We did it, Lady Cyrus. I mean Cyrus.
Yeah. Good job, Finn. You worked hard.
No, I didn't do... I think I can faintly hear his voice in the background, so I'm gonna turn up his voice, and I apologize in advance about everything so far. Let's try that out.
Oh no, I'm not letting you get away with that. I know you studied so much that you went without sleep.
Well, I didn't want to be a burden on you.
A burden? Finn, you need to take more pride in what you do. You're more competent than you think. Just the other day...
二人とも雑談は後にしてくれないか。連絡すべきことが控えているのでな。
Oh, apologies. Please continue, Sir Kurtoa.
Fuck, I can't pronounce his name. Pardon my French. I'm so sorry, I swore. It's gonna happen quite a bit.
これは昇格の仮証明書だ。正式な証明書が届くまで紛失しないように。それからこれが下界への視察許可証だ。
The depths. Finn and I both gulped when we heard that word. The depths, where we send our criminals?
そうだ。中級警察官の試験に合格した者は下界の視察をするよう義務付けられている。それを経ることにより晴れて君たちは中級警察官となるのだ。
I see.
You're asking the two of us to go into a den of criminals. Isn't that dangerous?
I couldn't blame Finn for being afraid. The depths were a long way from our country. Everyone I knew had been taught from young age to fear the depths. When I was a little girl, my father used to tell me that if I did something bad, he would send me into the depths where the demons live. I knew that if ordered, I would go. I suspect we're sent there precisely because it is dangerous. Am I correct, Sir Kurtoa?
ああ、昇格すれば君たちは重要任務に就くことになるだろう。その中、極悪犯を扱うこともある。彼らがどういった場所へ送られるのか。
I understand. Finn, you're going as well, right?
Yes, I can do it.
Pull yourself together. You won't be going alone. I'll be there with you. The two of us can handle it, don't you think?
Wait, I was supposed to read that. Shoot.
向こうにはちゃんと案内役がいる。
Oh well. A guide?
そうだ。罪人を野放しにしないための看守だ。君たちの身は彼らが守ってくれるだろう。 過去外科一冊を失敗した者はほとんどいない。気を抜かなければ大丈夫だ。安心したまえ。
Almost everyone, huh? I'm a competent sword fighter. I'll protect myself and Finn.
I'll protect you too, Cyrus. Even at the cost of my life.
頼もしいことだ。外科一冊は明日。時間や詳細は仮証明書に記載されている。各
Roger. After Sir Kotoa left, Finn murmured something about the depths. Maybe the criminals aren't running the show there, but I can't imagine it's a safe place. Let's both be on our guard. Finn nodded at me, then put the envelope away. We can make plans for tomorrow later. We have work to do today. Looks like it's as quiet as usual.
The daytime shifts are good like that. Nothing much happens.
As Rank 1 officers, the majority of our assignments were patrols. We just had to do rounds of the inner city, resolving anything that might require our attention. We won't have the chance to patrol as often once we're promoted.
Probably. I hear that rank 2 is mostly office work and investigations. Do you like this better?
Yeah, I like these assignments. Of course it's important to investigate big crimes, but I like being on patrol and looking at things the same way as ordinary citizens. It feels very meaningful.
Always faithful, huh?
Yeah, always faithful. As police officers, we serve the people. I want to remember that even if I get promoted... Lord Fitzgerald! I turned. I knew this man. His name was Fitzgerald Evans. He was the heir apparent of the Evans family and worked as a secretary for his politician father, Warner Evans. He was also my betrothed. I don't dislike him, but we'd met each other a few times, even before our engagement, but hadn't been well acquainted. We'd spent our childhoods in the same schoolhouse and occasionally conversed at dinner parties. He was a pleasant, soft-spoken man. There were little to find disagreeable about him, but that doesn't make me want to marry him. Since the prospect of marrying him did not sit well with me, even talking on the street with him made me a little uncomfortable. Yeah, perhaps another time. Fitzgerald agreed with a smile, then he turned to Finn.
Oh, I'm Finn Euclase.
ああ、そうだった。ユークレス商会のご子息だね。ディステラ家にユークレス家。それぞれ由緒ある家柄だというのに、君たちはどちらも家業を継がず。
I failed to see the strangeness. We are guaranteed professional freedom by law.
けど、普通は家業を継ぎ、安定した生活を望むものだよ。
Well...
ああ、気分を害したならすまない。君たちが望んで掴んだ結果がその姿なのだとしたら引き止めて悪かったね。ごきげんよう、お嬢様。
I'm gonna turn down the volume a little bit for music-wise. I feel like the music's a little loud. Just a little bit. Turn up the voices a bit. Actually, I know I keep configuring, guys, but just bear with me. I'll make the voices a little louder just because you can still barely hear them talking, even if I am voicing over them.
Yes, good day to you. I liked black tea, but I did not feel drinking it with Lord Fitzgerald. The pressures of protocol and suitable conversation would have made me feel self-conscious. Good thing I'm on duty right now. I watched Lord Fitzgerald walk away and deflated with relief.
He's pretty cool.
Really?
Absolutely. He's very refined and kind, and despite his high birth, he talked to me.
I see. If you like him so much, maybe you should marry him.
What? But I can't.
Why are you so serious? I know you can't. You'd make a nice pair with how highly you think of him, that's all.
I only gave credit where it's due. Do you dislike him, Lady Cyrus?
Don't call me a lady. Finn gave me another quick apology. In response to his question, I shook my head. I don't dislike him. I think he's very agreeable. I'm surprised he was paired with a tomboy like me. It's not that I can't accept him personally, it's that I can't accept having to marry Cyrus. I can't spend all my days complaining, though. This marriage is ordained by law. As a police officer, I uphold the law. What kind of police officer would I be if I don't accept this? Alright, this evening, I'm going to try on the wedding dress. Will you come with me, Finn?
Hi.
Gladly. Thanks, that'll help. If the country's going to pick my husband for me, why can't it pick my wedding dress, too? If it decided everything for me, I could just accept my fate.
Think of it like thorough foot patrols. Not everything can be made better by making it more efficient.
I see. I suppose you have a point.
So when is the marriage ceremony?
Beats me.
What? It's your wedding.
Well, it's not very high priority for me. Finn gave me an exasperated smile. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I can't blame him for being a little fed up. The conversation was starting to feel awkward. I decided to change the topic. Right, what about you? Finn looked at me quizzically. I ran into your father the other day. He told me your own wedding has been postponed.
Yeah, I didn't feel I was secure enough yet to marry.
Secure?
I wasn't sure whether I could be head of a household as a rank 1 officer. We used an exception in the law to postpone the wedding. Oh, we talked to the other family about it, of course. They understand that it's important I have a stable life first.
An exception in the law. I see. I didn't realize that was possible.
What's wrong?
No, nothing. Don't mind me. A stable life, huh? Well, you passed the promotion exam. That should do wonders for your salary.
Oh, yeah, I suppose. The government might withdraw the postponement once I'm promoted, since it doesn't fit the population plan.
I see. Finn's getting married.
Why is that so funny?
I'm laughing because I'm pleased. My wonderful partner is getting married. Congratulations!
Oh, I'm not so sure. Besides, you don't even like your own wedding.
No, that's a completely different situation. You're 4 years older than I am. Our ranks might be the same, but I'm going to use you as a mentor and learn from your example. Walk proudly into the harbor of marriage, Finn. I'll follow in your footsteps eventually.
You're clearly making fun of me, but I'll do my best.
Yes, I have high hopes. So what's she like, the woman you're marrying? So far, you've always deflected that question. You better spit it out now.
She...
Did you hear that? Something happened. There, the woman. Are you hurt, my lady? What happened? We looked in the direction she was pointing. We could only see his back, but he was carrying what looked like a bag. Finn, let's get him!
Roger.
It's hard to squeeze through this crowd. I took my whistle and blew as hard as I could. The crowd parted at the sound. Thank you!
Let's split up. Cyrus, go straight here.
Finn ran into a side road. Finn knows more about this area than I do. Hoping he would be able to find his way back to me, I kept following our target. Surrender! If you give yourself up quietly, you won't! The man began to throw irons at me from the street stalls. I had to be careful not to trip over anything underfoot. Theft alone wasn't enough? You had to add obstruction of justice and property damage? You won't escape! I raced down the streets after the man. I was closing in on him. I can do this! Just as he was almost in my grasp, he threw the bag at me. What? The bag sailed through the air over my head, landing behind me. I'm supposed to retrieve the bag, but if I stopped to pick up the bag, he would escape. I had to choose between that and catching him.
First choice of the game, guys. Oh, fudge. Catch the man. We can always retrieve the bag after.
I didn't want to leave the bag on the ground, but I couldn't let him escape either. I have to catch him no matter what. I managed a new burst of speed and slammed into his back. We both rolled across the pavement.
Surrender! Even if he wanted to escape, he couldn't. I sat on his body and restrained him with rope. You have the right to remain silent. Everything you say can be used against you. You... Stop struggling! Anyway, you're under arrest. You can think about a good excuse while you're in your cell. I checked the rope to make sure he couldn't free himself, then I stood up. The man stayed on the ground, resigned to his fate. Good grief. Looks like there's nothing for me to do anymore. Finn, I found this on the way. I believe it's the woman's. You picked it up. Good work. Oh, I didn't do anything. Stand still for a moment. Finn took a white handkerchief and wiped something off my cheek. There. You had some dirt on your cheek. I'll handle our culprit now. Thanks. Alright, let's go back to the lady. Yes. Hello, we've caught the criminal and retrieved your bag. It seems to be undamaged. Would you please check the contents just in case? You don't need to. It's our job as police officers to keep the peace in this town. I threw a glance at Finn. He realized what I wanted and straightened out his back. Everyone, thank you for your assistance in apprehending this criminal. Finn and I both put our left hands to the hilt of our swords and saluted. The crowd applauded. A lot of people sneer at patrol work. There wasn't much I valued more than that applause and the happiness of those I protected. I loved my job. Handing him over took longer than I expected. Yes, I couldn't believe how many other offenses there were on record. Got that right. We can be proud of ourselves for catching someone like that. Let's make this country a better place together. Yes.
これは相変わらず情熱的だな、レディー。
Ugh. This man... I told you before not to call me that. A man called Sinkenbolt. Ark walked towards us with an easygoing air. He was a rank 1 officer as well, and our colleague. He was a reasonably good officer, but his personality generated a lot of friction. I really hate this man. I couldn't just ignore him, though. I swelled down my ear as I spoke to him. Being passionate about one's work hardly seems bad.
そうだな。レディーたちの働きには感謝してるよ。君たちがネズミのように働けば働くほど、警察官全体の評価も上がる。だけどさ、お前は女だ。どうせそのうち結婚だなんだのでここから去る。そうすれば検挙率も下がるし、俺。
What are you getting at?
出しゃばるなってことだよ。
I bit my lips so I wouldn't snap back at him. Ark snorted and turned his attention towards Finn.
お前も大変だよな、フィン。こんな女のおもりを押し付けられて、正義の味方ごっこに付き合わされてさ。
Ark?
いや、貧乏口じゃないな。楽しそうにくっついて回ってるしな。母親を追いかけるケツの青いガキかってんだよ。
What a guy. You dare to insult not only me but Finn as well? You'll pay for this.
おっと、こんなところで暴れるつもりか？悪いことは言わない。無抵抗な俺を切ったとなれば、定食どころの騒ぎじゃなく。
He's right. Please sheathe your sword. Please calm down. Let's go, Cyrus. Fine.
ごきげんよう、優等生諸君。
I really hate that man. His sarcastic laughter rang behind us. We stayed side by side as we checked out orders for the next day as if we were still on duty.
It's not as crowded here this late in the day.
Why did you stop me? I came to a halt as I asked the question, but Finn kept moving forward.
Stopped you?
His steps paused and he turned to look at me. I could see in his expression that he was waiting for me to clarify. I'm talking about earlier. Why did you stop me? Why didn't you find a way to retaliate? Finn gave a quiet murmur. I knew he understood what I meant. But even if he understood, he showed no sign of being troubled by it. He was insulting you. Aren't you upset?
Insults like that mean nothing to me. I'm used to them.
used to them. Finn nodded, giving me an uncomfortable grin. Then he took a step toward me.
I'm less intelligent and less talented than most, and I know it. I failed the police employment exam twice. I'd be useless in the field without you.
Finn?
It's alright. I don't care what other people say about me. As long as I can work with you, I'm happy. That's why I stopped you. I didn't want you or your future to be under any kind of threat because of someone like me. I apologize if you didn't want me involved.
Well. I can't be angry at you for wanting the best for me, can I? We've worked together for a long time. You probably know this, but I can be a bit reckless sometimes.
A bit?
Are you trying to say something?
Oh, no. A little reckless, I agree.
Yes, a little reckless. Not very reckless, just a little. Probably. Anyway, I do my best to work on it, but objectively doesn't always come naturally to me. I've been grateful that you're there so many times, so don't think of yourself as useless. I wouldn't be here without you. I wouldn't have taken the promotion exam either. Finn, I'm glad you're my partner.
Lady Cyrus.
I told you not to call me that! Gosh. Finn was invaluable to me on so many occasions. If he hadn't been with me, who knows what I'd done. Perhaps Ark would be injured now at my hand. I knew how lucky I was to have a partner like Finn. Well then, off to battle.
Battle?
Yes, I need to try on that dress we talked about.
I see. Are you sure you want me there? I don't know anything about women's clothes.
Of course, it's essential that you're there with me. I can overcome any hardship with you.
That sounds like hyperbole. But I'm still honored, and I want you to know that when I'm with you,
I think the tailor's over there. After me, Finn.
Yes. Man.
Poor Finn. I've always felt bad for him for this one-sided love. That's why I ship. I just wish it would go through, and now finally there might be a chance to.
This dress is so tight. Taylor said it was custom fitted, but I think he also said it would be uncomfortable at first. They'd taken my measurements a few months earlier. I didn't want to believe I'd gained weight in the interim. I don't like the dresses at home to begin with, and this is a whole other level. I sighed and looked at myself in the mirror. I have no idea if this looks good or bad. Therefore, Finn, are you there?
Yes, what is it?
How does it look?
Oh, fancy. Poor Finn.
Cyrus.
I wanted to know if you think it looks good. Your reaction made the answer quite obvious. That'll be enough, thank you.
Enough? What do you mean? Hey, answer me, please. I can't pull the curtain back, please.
You didn't know what to say because it looked so bad, right?
No, not at all. I was just startled. Can I see it again?
You don't have to be considerate.
I'm not trying to be considerate. I swear on my sword that I will tell you the truth. Please, let me see it again.
How is it?
It's beautiful. Very beautiful.
Finn?
I don't know what to choose, guys. I have a bad habit of saving. I'm fanalizing. Yeah, let's go with this one.
He's mumbling. I didn't want to doubt him, but he seemed like the type to lie so as not to hurt someone's feelings. I suspect he wasn't telling the truth. Finn, is that the truth?
Of course. I was lost for how to describe it properly, that's all. It's very beautiful. It really is. If I had to compare you to something, I would pick a fairy. A brilliant, beautiful fairy straight from a fairy tale.
Finn mumbled an apology. It amused me to see his large frame fidget around uncomfortably. I laughed.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have called you a fairy. I'm sorry.
How often are you planning to apologize? Well, I suppose you must be telling the truth. Thank you, Finn.
Okay. You're welcome.
It got pretty dark.
Yeah, you did well at the tailor's.
It sure was exhausting. Especially with my hair getting tangled up in the dress when I tried to take it off. Thanks for your help there, Finn.
You're welcome. I'm sorry I went into the changing room.
You did it for me. There's nothing to apologize for.
Yeah, but it was very rude of me to barge in as you changed. I'll try to better myself.
I told you that it's fine. You're honestly more dexterous than I thought.
No. Anybody calm could have done that for you.
I can do it alone, that's for sure. Not as carefully as you did. I'd probably have just decided to heck with it and cut off my hair. Thank you, Finn. Finn smiled at me. The whole ordeal was a chore, but at least it's over and done with. Happily chatted away. Sorry that you have to come so far in this direction to walk me home. I know you live the other way.
I don't mind. It means you're not walking alone at night.
You don't have to worry about me. I can protect myself with my sword.
Yeah, I know. But I can't help it. I still worry. I don't want to imagine you in danger.
Finn,
You're my partner. You're part of my life. I want to be able to protect you sometimes, Cyrus.
alright. But the same goes for me as well. We're equals. We protect each other. Don't hesitate to let me be there for you too.
Okay. Thank you.
I've got an idea. Would you like to come to my house for dinner? I want to pay you back for how much time you spent with me after work.
I'd love to, but I've still got so much to do for tomorrow.
Oh, I see. We're going to the depths tomorrow. I should make some preparations too. Tomorrow is probably going to be exhausting. Do you want to eat with me the next time we have a day off then?
Yes, I'd like that, if it's not too much trouble.
Of course it isn't. I'll tell the servants to make a huge feast.
Thank you. I look forward to it.
Yeah, me too. Sorry for taking up so much of your time. Take care on the way home.
I will. See you tomorrow.
Finn made a little bow and began to walk away. Slowly he faded into the darkness of the night. Well, time to go in. I'm home.
おかえりなさい。遅かったわね。
Oh, yeah. I gripped my sword hilt, my tone proud. I tried on the wedding dress. I expected them to be happy, but they didn't even bat an eyelash. I gave them a quizzical look. Is something wrong?
本当に？
You're doubting me?
あれほど渋っていたんだ。疑うに決まっているだろう。
Of course, huh? It's a little hurtful to be suspected of lying by your own parents.
ごめんなさいね。そう。やっと試着してくれたのね。あのドレスの生地はおばあ様が生前あなたに用意したものなの。
Sure. That much was honest truth. I don't like dresses, but the fabric was pretty. I think so.
と思います。
No, I like it. Grandmother's cloth was superb.
そうよね。
試着してくれてよかったよ。これでようやく式の日取りを決められる。
A date? There was no date before?
そうよ。ドレスができてから決めるって言ったでしょ？
Yeah, I really did forget that. In fact, I'd forgotten that we'd ever talked about it. I'm really not enthusiastic about getting married. I was surprised at how much I didn't care.
結婚式に向けてこれから忙しくなるぞ。
There's still more for me to do?
当然よ。式場の選定に招待状の作成、体型の維持、美容。
I feel dizzy. Can I have something to eat? I'm very hungry.
もちろん。でも食べ過ぎないでね。
I know. Marriage is a lot worse than I expected. I am so tired. I placed my sword next to the wall and collapsed into my bed. I knew I had to change my clothes, but my body demanded rest. Today was really exhausting. My parents continued to berate me about my wedding and future husband throughout dinner. They tried to tell me that descendants aren't the be-all, end-all. The government had decided my marriage was nothing of special significance to me. My parents are very happy together, but how was I going to feel? Would Lord Fitzgerald and I ever feel as comfortable together as my parents did? I can't really picture that. Catching that thief already felt like an event of the distant past. That just proved how worn out I felt.
I want to sleep, but I have to change. I had to prepare for the next day as well. Should I tell my parents that I'm going into the depths? My orders don't say that I'm not allowed to tell my family. It didn't seem like the right time. They're unlikely to oppose it outright since it was part of the promotion process, but I knew they'd make a fuss about it. The depths truly were in an unknown, terrifying world to us. I won't tell them. No need to cause pointless worry. It's probably better to tell them after the fact. After reaching my decision, I crawled onto the sheets. Immediately, I began to melt into the soft mattress, my whole body stretching out. Good night, I remembered and closed my eyes.